Hello everyone, this is Connor, and of course the game in the background is Total War Attila. Not that bad a game, to be honest. I was almost certain I would hate it. It's not that bad. I mean, there are still limitations within the engine that is currently being used to make these games. Since the release of Empire, on melee based games like this where you have armies with swords and axes and spears clashing, it doesn't work really well. But this game is not as buggy, I suppose you could just say. It is being polished a lot more. The AI has been greatly touched up. The AI in this game is awesome now. I mean, I don't see Total War Attila as its own standalone game. I would just say it's what Barbarian Invasion was to Rome Total War, the first one. It's an expansion with a fucking shitload of DLC, which shouldn't be there. Right, so let's just try and find a game today. This is going to be a historical battle, so I can show you what I mean. Yeah, who is this? The reign Attila began plundering and then militum Flavius Aetius. Yeah, let's do this one. So, the AI in this game has been completely revamped. It's completely been redone. It's awesome. It's a lot more difficult. This game is like just an even harder version of, I would just say, Barbarian Invasion for the original Rome. Because in the previous titles that have used this engine, I'm sorry, I cannot really remember the name, it's like Warscape or something, the AI has been utterly terrible. And that's not to say that the AI in previous titles has not been terrible. I mean, trying to defend against a siege in Medieval 2 Total War was a nightmare. Why was that, Connor? Because they never attacked you. They would sit outside your walls and do damn all. It's pretty much the same in Rome. Right, so let's get this battle underway, and I'll talk a little bit about how Attila is coming along.
Attila the Hun has begun storming through Gaul, sacking numerous towns.
Yes, he has. Bad Attila, you bad boy.
Huns advance, Commander. Battle is upon us.
Right, so I'm playing as the Romans against, I guess it's Attila. And I have my allies here, Gothics. The Goths, so they're the Visigoths or the Ostrogoths. Does it really matter? Rome will at some point betray them. Right, let's just pause the game. What do we got here? Legio, so we got a few legionaries here. Let's get them with the cohorts. Let's get them into a position where they can do some good. Get these guys into a position here where they can cover the small indentation in the line there, in their defensive line. What else have I got? Some barbarian conscripts, I suppose. Put them. I really don't like this. That'll do, pig. That'll do, barbarian. That'll do. Got ourselves some axemen here. Where are all my spearmen? Are those pikemen? Saxon spears. We've got a few spear units, it seems. Let's put them in the front. Can they do a spear wall? It doesn't seem so. That's odd. Got a few javelin men here and slingers. Let's put them in front. And then hopefully at some point I'll be able to get on with what I was talking about. Just maybe. Right, so my cavalry here at the back is the only one I have not yet placed. And let's bring them here. And resume. Yeah, so Attila is a massive improvement upon Rome 2, and to be fair, they got a lot of flack at how massive a clusterfuck Rome 2's release was and how bad it still is today. I mean, look how beautiful this game looks. This looks amazing. Now, with all the mech settings on Rome 2, just like this is now, it does not even look half as good. It just looks really choppy and just unprofessional. I really, really don't like Rome 2. And I really like the time period it's set in, the ancient world, but I can't play it. It's just too buggy and too broken right now for me to have any enjoyment out of it. Now, as I said, it's just like a barbarian invasion 2. That's basically what it is. All the barbarian tribes have risen up against the Eastern and Western Roman empires. Rome's grip is slipping, and its provinces are being taken back by the barbarians they once conquered. And it makes for a really interesting time period. I mean, all these barbarian tribes are rising up against Rome once more, and then to top it all off, Attila comes and wrecks the shit out of every freaking settlement in Europe. It's a nightmare. And that is if you're not playing as Attila himself. He plays Attila. You start off with the new horde mechanic. I really like that, the way you can move about without having a settlement. But if you need to get new units and stuff, you can set up an encampment. I really like that. I believe this would be the perfect game right now for a Lord of the Rings mod. You can have your orcish armies, goblin armies, moving by night, and by day they set up little encampments and stuff. Or I don't even know what I'm talking about now. I suppose that would be more for the orcs than the goblins. The goblins don't really leave their mountain lairs. Right, so there's my allies are into the thick of it there. Double time. Let's give them some assistance. I know Rome always screws over their allies, but I am not going to be one of those asshole Roman generals. Now, where is my leader? I can't see this. Oh, there he is there. Magister Militum. All the skins and models are really, really nice in this here. I mean, look at this forest. Look at the textures and the shadows and how the light is coming through the leaves. Oh, it's freaking awesome. And all the foliage on the ground here. I just think this is a beautiful game. It's the best looking Total War game to date. I also thought that Shogun... Right, everyone. Hold on. Just a second. I want to get these guys to have skirmish. Alright, open fire. Start cutting them down, boys. This will most likely just be me rambling over a historical battle here, more than actually talking about what's new in Attila. But because there is a lot new, you know what, I'm just going to bring my cavalry up behind here for a flanking maneuver. So these barbarians have made a fatal error in attacking my ally before I was even in a position to... You know, they should have been watching me as well as just my ally here. Right, so they're bringing spearmen in here, so I'll just get my javelin guys. Where's the other one? My slingers. Take out these spearmen. Bring my cavalry up around the rear here. Now that's a problem that I was just about to mention there. Whenever there's a lot of units on the battlefield at once, I have like about 25 FPS here. That's while recording with fraps, and I'm also downloading, I think. I'm downloading a Steam game. So that'll slow it down a little bit while it's allocating space for the download itself. But the FPS will be fine. But then the unit starts stuttering on the spot. But your FPS will still be fine. That's a real problem that I have with this game. Bring my cavalry in here for the flank. And start moving my infantry. So get in there, boys. There we go. Start these guys pushing up this hill. Give a little bit of a rallying cry there. No, they had been totally destroyed here. Cut them off, don't allow any more to retreat. Now why is my general not running full belt? Suppose it's because he's in... Is he a heavy cavalry unit? I'm suspecting he would be. Usually the general's cavalry unit is heavy. Yeah, they look heavy, mail armor. Right, let's get these boys up the hill here. Get these Axemen in. Axemen are dangerous in this game. They're brutal. Something I wanted to talk about was the fact that in Rome 1 and in Medieval, whenever you had a faction destroyed, so say you're playing as Britain or something in Medieval 2, and you destroyed, let's just say, the Holy Roman Empire, or any faction whatsoever that wasn't playable at the start, you unlocked them. So once you completely wiped out a faction, it unlocked the ability to play as them. But nowadays, you had to pay $4.99 or your regional equivalent to play a freaking faction, which is ridiculous. I hate that. I mean, it's sort of an incentive. Play the game as best as you can. Yes! We will. Get after these here horse archers, because they are a nightmare. Just gonna see if I can rally what's left of my allies here. I've got 2 sword units here chasing archers that they're never going to catch up to because their armor is a lot lighter. You know what? Bring these guys around down here and take out these pikemen. Now, my allies have all just bolted and scattered. With them, if I had acted a little bit earlier, maybe they'd still be in the fight, but I was a little bit distracted with setting up my formation to begin with. Right, so my general, how's he doing? Alright, so I'm going to bring these guys out. They're strong on the charge, so I'll keep that morale breaking charge up. Now, if I could just... Where's my... do I not even have my ranged group anymore? I suppose they're all part of group 1 now. Let's just bring these guys up here. Start putting some fire on these heavy infantry units and spear units here. Bring my general out. I don't want him fighting. I thought I told him to get out of there and scatter. Oh god damn Aetius. What are these spear units still chasing them for? I thought I told you to get back. A problem in this is that units, sometimes it'll take a while and a lot of clicking to get the unit you're trying to give an order to actually listen to that order. I suppose in a way that's sort of realistic. Maybe there's too much going on for the unit to really understand the seriousness of the situation and or the way the battle is turning. Don't skirmish, just wreck those swordsmen there. What are they doing? Oh, there's no ammo left. Derp, Connor. Derpity derp derp. So let's get that. I've lost this. I was not paying attention enough at the start. My allies just broke pretty early on. But at least it gives you a little bit of an insight in how the battles work and how beautiful this game looks now. I mean, you can see here that my cavalry have come in here and flanked these pikemen. And my warriors here, my legionaries, are just cutting them down. And they're broken. So let's bring my cavalry over. Let's bring my melee back in. Let's put our units to loose. So that the missile damage is not as... Oh, here comes some of our allied cavalry here. In diamond formation. Strong on the charge. Let's get those guys into a bit of a battle there. A bit of a scrap. I have lost this. I have lost this so badly. Bring them back around. Let's give a bit of an assist to our allied cavalry that come back in there. Put them in diamond formation. They get a 50% increase in speed on the charge. And they've all just broken and now they're just clearing off.
This battle is lost. It's time to leave the field while we still
Oh, look at the amount of corpses and death. It's a beautiful sight. Valiant defeat. At least it was valiant, at least. Come on. So yeah, Attila, I like it. I don't really know if I got that across or not. There are problems still with the engine. I don't really like playing these types of games on this engine. This engine was designed for line riflemen, like an Empire, the line infantry, with the muskets and the rifles and stuff. It wasn't really designed for melee combat because they sort of turn into a blob when they get into. It's just a mess. I'm not going to explain everything that's wrong with it, but this is pretty damn good. They fixed a lot of the problems. They sort of make it look as if the blobs aren't there anymore, but they are. They've just sort of heavily edited and worked on the collision engine part, how the collision works, but it still looks pretty derpy at times. But Total War Attila, or Barbarian Invasion 2, it's freaking awesome. I would recommend to wait until the price drops a bit, because it's £30 or your regional equivalent. That would be like $60 or $50 or something in the US, and about the same in Europe. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Subscribe, like, do all that there shiz, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.